Hello! Are you ready for 20 mixed questions? Your first correct answer is yes. Question 1. Rebellion is as what? Is it the sin of stubbornness, the sin of witchcraft, the sin of idolatry, or the sin of lust? And rebellion is the sin of witchcraft, according to 1 Samuel chapter 15. Question 2. Which psalm deals with David's repentance after his great sin concerning Bathsheba? Is that 49, 50, 51, or 52? And that's Psalm 51. Question 3. Blessed is the people that what? They shall walk, O Lord, in the light of thy countenance. Is it know the joyful sound, walk in the light, observe thy commandments to do them, or honour thy name? And blessed is the people that know the joyful sound, in Psalm 89. Question 4. Who was slain between the altar and the temple? Was that John, James, Zacharias, or Herod? And that was Zacharias in Luke chapter 11. Question 5. What is an epistle? Is it a commandment, a letter, a plant, or a hymn? I'm sure you got that one right. That's a letter. Question 6. In which city was there an altar to the unknown God? Was that Corinth, Thessalonica, Athens, or Ephesus? And the altar was in Athens, as referenced in Acts chapter 17. Question 7. Which judge cut down his father's altar to Baal? Was that Barak, Shamgar, Gideon, or Samson? And that was Gideon who chopped it down in Judges chapter 6. Question 8. 3 Old Testament writers asked the question, what is man? Who were they? Was that Job, David, and Solomon? Ezra, Isaiah, and Jeremiah? Asaph, Esther, and Nehemiah? Or Moses, Abraham, and Joseph? And the 3 were Job in chapter 7, David in Psalm 8, and Solomon in Ecclesiastes chapter 6. Question 9. Blessed is the one whose sin the Lord does not count against them, and in whose spirit what? Is it he finds no fault? Is the lamp of the Lord? He can trust, or there is no deceit. And that's in whose spirit there is no deceit, according to Psalm 32. Question 10. Who was slain while holding the horns of the altar in the tabernacle? Was that Ahaz, Zechariah, Joab, or Abiathar? And that was Joab in 1 Kings chapter 2. Question 11. At Bethel, when King Jeroboam stretched out his hand from the altar, what happened? And you must have it now. His hand shriveled up in 1 Kings chapter 13. Question 12. What wood was the altar in the tabernacle made from? Was that fir, cedar, shittim, or oak? And that was shittim, found in Exodus chapter 38. Question 13. Blessed is he whose transgression is forgiven, whose iniquity is not imputed to him for righteousness, whose sin is covered, whose heart is set on Zion, or whose chief friend is the Lord. And that is whose sin is covered, according to Psalm 32. Question 14. Who took the bones out of the sepulchres and burned them upon the altar and polluted it? Was that Ahaz, Josiah, Jeroboam, or Nebat? And that was Josiah in 2 Kings chapter 23. Question 15. When Jesus sits on the throne of his glory, and all nations are gathered before him, he will separate them, as a shepherd separates sheep and goats. And to the sheep he will say, Come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you, is it from the foundation of the world, from the time of the giving of the law, from the time of Calvary, or prepared for you this day. And you'll inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world, according to Matthew chapter 25. Question 16. Whose lips were touched by a coal from the altar in the temple? Was that Isaiah, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, or Joel? And that was Isaiah, in Isaiah chapter 6. Question 17. Which psalm is the longest chapter in the Bible? Is that Psalm 116, 117, 118, or 119? And that's the very long Psalm 119. I would say it takes about 20 minutes to read out loud. Not sure how that springs to mind. Question 18. Jesus explained why people who do not believe the gospel of the kingdom are condemned. So why is it? Is it because they are fools and do foolish things? God chooses whom he will love and whom he will hate. Light is come into the world, but men prefer darkness because their deeds are evil. Or Jesus paid such a high price for them that they still get to choose. And they're condemned because men prefer darkness, according to John chapter 3. Question 19. Behold, thou hast made my days as a handbreadth, and mine age is as what? Is it fleeting as a breath of air before thee? Nothing before thee, vanity before thee, or important to me as anything else thou gavest me. And mine age is nothing before thee, in Psalm 39. And question 20. But the path of the just is as what? Is it darkness? They know not at what they stumble. Is it as variable as the path of the unjust? But I delight in you, O God. As a smooth highway, and it is very narrow. Or as the shining light that shineth more and more unto the perfect day. And the path of the just is as the shining light, in Proverbs chapter 4. Now perhaps you were ready, but were you able? Perhaps you might like to tell me. Until next time, goodbye, and God bless.